Team Wreck here with Mr. Nightmare Phoenix. Nah, he's Mr. Memento. Let's get real here.
It's true.
That might have given away what we're about to see, but we're here with our first place quarter century Bonanza winner, Bazil. We're gonna just let him run with it here. Do you want to do shout outs before, after?
Yeah, sure. Shout out my mom. She's my biggest supporter. That's all I really got for us. Other than that, my Nightmare Phoenix playmat's very important to me because Nightmare Phoenix CR is a card my father got for me. So I'm very grateful to own this mat now.
Let's go.
But let's get right into the deck profile.
Let's jump right in. Here we go.
Sure. So I'll get through my monster hand traps right away. 3 Ash. Does double duty now that it stops small charmies. Speak of the devil, we got the 3 Foolos in the main. I've played with it and considered not playing it in the main, but losing the die roll feels bad, and this card remedies that problem. The Memento names, these days you got the usual suspects. 3 of the 1-card starters, of course, in Witch, Darkblade, and the 3 Horse. I say 3 of the 1-card starters, even though with Rage of the Abyss, I feel like everything's become a proper 1-card starter these days. But these are the ones you play at 3, especially in the pure variant, because they can go into pretty much any combo line you want to. Even if you draw a Gaddock now, I've found it easier to play your full combo without feeling like it's too much of a brick. These days we're also on 2 Goblin because of the Goblin Biker Grand Breakout. I was a naysayer at first, but after playing into too many too many opponents' hands that have the Ash and the Imperm, having a second copy of Bone Party has been phenomenal. So 2 of these guys, so you never really brick. And then a bunch of 1-ofs, Mace, Gaddock, Sleepy, Akihiron's insane. You can actually activate it on your first turn. I learned this from a head judge, a chain block. So you can do a lot of funny stuff with Akihiron, but he's mostly just an extra body and ensures that you have all your Memento spells and traps on your end board. And we're on the Trihorn Dragon. All of the 1-ofs, just because I like being able to extend to wider boards than if I were to say cut Trihorn. I feel like having extra body is always important. And of course we gotta run the big body, because having Appaloosa while it's banned tends to be pretty damn good. For the spells, we're on 6 copies of Bone Party. But for real, Goblin Biker Grand Breakout is insane. It does do what Bone Party does, a little bit worse. But not just that, I've had a couple hands where I've had to set a hand trap and then activate Grand Breakout to tribute it, so it can really help unclog and get your hands through a lot of opponents' hand traps. So probably going to keep playing it like this moving forward. 2 Ofs, we've got 2 Droplet, 2 Fusion, and 2 Talents. I generally don't like playing 2 Ofs, but I found it hard to justify maxing on either Talents or Droplets, and to keep it at 40, I figured why not just two of both. I'm likely going to go back to 3 Memento and Fusion, just because having a 3rd, it comes up a lot, and having it in your hand, again, helps you dodge hand traps, which is what this deck does a lot of, and that's a big reason on why I love playing it. But played these at 2 today, I didn't mind it too much. Might move Fusion up to 3, but that's what we had today. 1 Field Spell because it's searchable. And then lastly, some traps, 3 Imperms, and Appaloosa Trap. I found myself keeping this in even when I was going second, just because if you can crack your opponent's board and then set this up, they're not coming back from that. But that's the main deck, clean 40, and I'm really liking it. I'm going to play with the numbers, but I don't mind it either way. Regarding the extra deck, we've got 1 Jacob token, 1 copy of Twin Dragon. You don't have to play this any more than 1 anymore, which I love. Keeps space in your extra deck nice and loose because you can play a lot of wacky stuff. 1 Guardian Chimera. I've seen people cut it. I've considered cutting it, but came up today and glad I kept it in. So 1 Guardian Chimera and 2 of the Big Fusion. Amazing end board piece, but also the terraforming effect on it just lets your boards get to where they need to be, and again ensures that you have all 3 of your spells and traps by the end of the day. And we're only on 4 fusions. I considered more fusions. There's a lot of stuff you can run. Another card I considered running, as I've seen a lot of people do, is Super Poly. I just didn't end up playing it today, and I guess I'm thankful for that, but I might be trying that in the near future. Some Link monsters, we've got Anima, Dark, Herald, I made this a lot. Don't sleep on Herald, man. A spell trap negates insane. IP, aforementioned Nightmare Phoenix, there he is. SP. These were the Link 2s. I made pretty much everything except Dark and Nightmare Phoenix today, but they still come up often enough that I wouldn't like to cut them.
For the pedestrians out here, you don't need cross sheep anymore?
You can run cross sheep, but that's more for the people running the smaller Fiendsmith engine, because it lets you get into weird plays like having Diabels on your board or the Nightmare Griffin.
Right, okay.
And I still have yet to play around with that, but I found cross sheep, all it does is it turns 2 bodies into 2 link materials, and then brings back another link material. Like, there's no big links to go up into anymore other than Griffin, so I'm not on cross sheep.
Alrighty.
For Link 3s, I'm on Unicorn. This could really be anything. Like, it gets really ambiguous towards the heavier end of the Link package, but I still like Unicorn. Sometimes just shuffling back is better than anything else in this format. And one I was convinced to be back on is Celine, just because it turns out there is some merit in still just making Celine into access code. It's just, with the Dark, it's so clean to do 2 bodies into board clear. Speak of the Devil, we've got access code and a Link 4 that won me a game today in Agave Dragon. I found his effect to gain attack damage helped me get over a lot of bodies in time. So, Agave Dragon, yes. And another card that comes up a lot, I've been recommending this to a lot of people, is Underworld Goddess. People aren't ready for it, they don't expect it, and it takes out a big threat without having to destroy it. And negation of summoning from the graveyard is super live in this format.
True.
So I really liked my extra deck. Again, there's probably room in there for that Super Poly package, and I'm going to have to play with that a little bit later. As for the side, some Upstart Goblins. The one I've called by all my defensive cards are in the side. 3 Cyclone. I wish I saw more Cyclone today because there were so many opportunities where it would have been awesome. Fortunately, it was just stuck in my deck. 3 Crossout. Again, not something I saw today, but I like having those defensive options going first. Some Floodgates because they're busted, and the all-star of the day is probably Evenly. I even lead a lot of boards, and being able to play with a normal summon after that is just a little too overwhelming for most decks. But that was the build, and I really enjoyed it.
Awesome, great deck. Will you be playing this deck after Crossover Breakers?
Yeah, I have shoeboxed Vanquish Soul. I'm a Memento guy now, and quite frankly, it's the first deck I've really dipped into that has that heavy Gombo gameplay, and I really, really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, and the lines being so versatile and being able to play around the different Charmies, or being able to end on different end boards, and having access to Appaloosa, I see myself playing this for a little bit longer. But there's other stuff in the pipes, so stay tuned for that. Yeah.
Awesome. Keep up the good work. Great profile, and stay tuned for more, guys. Thank you.